A heat wave is making its way across the United States this week. Parts of the Midwest and Northeast will see temperatures soar this week, and that has some officials worrying about air quality. The National Weather Service put out an advisory for all the states in orange. Code orange indicates higher concentrations of pollution. The Environmental Protection Agency says children, the elderly, and people with respiratory issues should avoid prolonged outdoor activity. CBS News weather producer David Parkinson is here to break this down for us. So, David, let's start with the scorching heat across parts of the United States. What is causing this heat wave?
Well, so we've got a jet stream that is way to the north, so it is up by Canada. The good news is it's going to start to move. So while we had temperatures in Vermont in the 90s, we had temperatures in Maine, places that you wouldn't typically see 90s in the middle of June, those places are going to be seeing some relief. Well, the south, unfortunately, you're still going to be in the warmer part of that jet stream pattern, and that's going to be the case over the next several days. In terms of a raw number change, we had heat indexes in Boston of 99 today. And even if you take a look at some of these, 105 in Raleigh was what it felt like, 102 in Chicago, 105 in St. Louis. I mean, that's dangerous heat, especially what it feels like. But 24 hours, what a difference that makes. That Chicago number will go from 102 all the way down into the 70s.
Wow.
Your number in Washington, D.C. will be only 93. Boston will be in the 70s. Burlington will be in the 70s. So it's a much better change over those 24 hours. But unfortunately, if you're in Columbia or Raleigh or a place like that, the temperatures are still going to feel like they're in the triple digits.
I mean, are these high temperatures normal in these areas for this time of year?
I would say that it's a little bit earlier than normal, right? Summer begins on Thursday, but we've been having these cases where we'll have a heat wave that begins before summer pretty much every year, at least going back the last half decade. And that's a little bit of an attribution of a warmer climate, but it's also it doesn't just because you have a celestial happening, which is when summer starts, June 21st, doesn't actually mean that Mother Nature is going to necessarily cooperate on that.
Absolutely. Well, the National Weather Service says this heat wave is going to affect air quality. How does that happen, and what should we expect then?
So it's low-level ozone is what the concern is. And so ozone is O3. It's 3 molecules of oxygen. So you think of ozone, the good one that's up, in the sky. There's also ground-level ones that you get from burning of fossil fuels and some pollutants and smog and things like that. And that has the tendency to really cause problems with the respiratory system. So you're seeing those alerts in D.C., in New York, in Boston, in Raleigh, and then also in Pittsburgh and in Cincinnati. And the reason why you're having those concerns is because you've got all those cities pumping out those pollutants. You get the ozone activated there, and you've got a bad health situation.
Finally, there is a system in the Gulf approaching Texas. What is in the forecast there for the Lone Star State?
Well, so you can see there's a whole lot of rain on this map right now. You can see it's just to the east of Houston, but it's going to continue to sort of cycle over the next 24 to 48 hours. And it is a constant barrage of rain for the next 24 hours. And so when we put the futurecast into motion, you can see here's that loop, and it just keeps going and going and going. There it is in Corpus Christi. There it is in San Antonio and Houston. All of those places have a good chance of seeing somewhere around a half a foot to a foot of rain. So when we talk about rain totals, this is all going to be in the span of 24 to 48 hours, and that's the big concern. If you get that kind of flooding in the Houston area, we saw this is no Harvey, but this is the potential to, when you have a lot of rain in Houston, cause a lot of problems. So you're seeing it there, you're seeing it between San Antonio and Corpus Christi, places like Victoria, Bay City, all those places, a big concern there.
All right, we'll continue to watch it all. David Parkinson,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing.